Welcome to today's story. Imagine this: a chilly morning in downtown Denver, a bustling street full of people heading to work, grabbing coffee, or just enjoying a peaceful walk. Among them is none other than Elon Musk, the tech entrepreneur and CEO of Tesla Motors. But today, his day takes an unexpected turn. As he walks toward his favorite coffee shop, he crosses paths with a homeless man named Franklin, who once served as a sheriff but now finds himself struggling on the streets. What starts as a simple encounter between a billionaire and a man with a forgotten past turns into a life-changing opportunity for both. A simple act of kindness sparks a chain of events that completely alters Franklin's life, and maybe even Elon's. Stick around as we dive into this incredible story, where one decision opens the door to hope, transformation, and a new beginning. You won't believe the surprising twist that follows. It was a chilly morning in downtown Denver, the kind where the air nips at your skin and the streets are bustling with people starting their day. Commuters hurriedly made their way to work, grabbing their morning coffee from the local cafes, while others simply enjoyed a peaceful walk in the crisp morning air. The city was alive with energy, a normal day for most. But today, something felt different. Amid the usual crowd, there was a man who stood out: Elon Musk. Elon, the tech mogul and CEO of Tesla Motors, was no stranger to the fast-paced world of business. He's the mastermind behind groundbreaking companies like Tesla and SpaceX, constantly in the public eye and leading innovation. His days are usually filled with high-powered meetings, endless emails, and problem-solving at the highest level. But today, he wasn't in his usual world of boardrooms and cutting-edge technology. Today, he was walking the same downtown streets as everyone else, looking for a moment of peace, perhaps to escape the noise of his success and indulge in a quiet cup of coffee at his favorite spot, Wormhole Coffee. As Elon approached the cafe, he noticed something, or rather, someone, who made him pause. Standing just outside the door was an older man, hunched slightly, wearing ragged clothes, and with a worn-out expression. His weathered skin told the story of someone who had seen much in his life, but perhaps not much kindness in recent years. This man, Franklin, once had a different life. He wasn't always standing on the corner of the street in search of a warm place to rest. No, Franklin had a past. He was a sheriff, a protector of the community, a man who once wore a badge with pride. But life had dealt him a harsh hand, and now, with nothing left but his memories and a deep bitterness, he found himself forgotten, homeless, and struggling to survive. As Franklin stood there, looking down at the ground, there was a sadness in his eyes that spoke volumes. Little did he know, this cold morning would become the turning point of his life, a chance encounter with Elon Musk, and an opportunity for something much bigger than either of them could have imagined. As Elon reached for the door of the coffee shop, he heard a raspy voice call out, "Hey, you there!" He paused, taken aback. It wasn't the usual fan or passerby calling his name. This voice felt different, almost as if it had a story to tell. Elon turned to face the man, who looked up at him with tired yet piercing eyes. "You're Elon Musk, aren't you? The tech guy with all the money and fancy cars?" the man asked, his voice soft, but tinged with a bitterness that caught Elon off guard. Elon nodded slowly, unsure of what was coming next, and replied, "Yes, that's me. Can I help you?" The man's gaze shifted, and with a deep sigh, he began to speak. "I used to be someone, too, a sheriff. Served my country, wore a badge, but now, look at me." His voice cracked, the weight of his words heavy in the air. "Now I'm just a forgotten soul on the streets." Elon stood there, momentarily stunned. This wasn't the typical interaction he was used to. No admiring fans or requests for an autograph. Instead, this man's eyes held a history, a deep loss that Elon couldn't quite understand. Franklin's story was one of promise, of honor, and of protection. But now, it was the story of a man who had fallen through the cracks, with nowhere to turn and no one to listen. As Franklin finished speaking, there was a long silence. Elon's mind raced. He had heard about the struggles of homeless veterans, but hearing it firsthand, seeing the pain in Franklin's eyes, it struck a chord deep within him. Elon's life had been built on the idea that technology and innovation could change the world. But in that moment, he realized there were bigger challenges than just machines and rockets. There were people who needed help, real help, and he felt a growing sense of responsibility. This wasn't just about offering a handout, it was about offering Franklin a chance at a new beginning. Without hesitation, Elon reached into his pocket and pulled out a business card, handing it to Franklin with a steady hand. "Call me tomorrow," he said, his voice sincere. "I want to help. We'll figure something out. There's always hope." Franklin looked at the card, uncertainty flickering in his eyes, but he took it without a word. As Elon turned to walk into the coffee shop, he couldn't shake the feeling that something important was about to happen. Would Franklin actually call? Would this simple gesture lead to real change? The mystery of tomorrow loomed in the air, and for the first time in a long while, Elon felt that he might be on the verge of something much bigger than business. The next morning, as Elon sat at his desk, the usual flurry of meetings and emails waited for his attention. But his mind kept drifting back to Franklin, wondering if he would actually call. Just as he was about to dive into his work, his phone rang. The unknown number flashed on the screen, and for a moment, Elon hesitated. But then, remembering the card he'd given Franklin, he swiped to answer. "Hello?" he said, trying to sound casual, though a part of him felt a surge of anticipation. "Mr. Musk, this is Franklin Klein. You gave me your card yesterday. I called just like you said." Elon's heart skipped a beat. Franklin had called. "I'm glad you did," Elon replied, his voice calm but sincere. "How are you doing?" Franklin's voice came through softly, filled with a mixture of uncertainty and gratitude. "I didn't think anyone would care, but you gave me hope. I'm here, just like you said." Elon smiled to himself, feeling a deep sense of purpose rising within him. "There's always hope, Franklin," he said, his words firm but compassionate. "I'll be there soon. We'll figure this out together." As he hung up, Elon felt a sense of responsibility wash over him. This was no longer just a random act of kindness. It was something much bigger, a chance to truly change a life. And as he prepared to meet Franklin, he knew that this was the beginning of something important. When Elon arrived at the Wormhole coffee shop, the familiar sound of the door chiming echoed through the quiet morning air. He scanned the room and spotted Franklin sitting at the same corner table, looking a little different today. His clothes were still ragged, but there was something new in his eyes, a glimmer of hope, however small. As Elon approached, Franklin stood up, his hands trembling slightly. He seemed unsure, almost as if he couldn't believe this moment was real. "I didn't think you'd actually come," Franklin muttered, his voice wavering. Elon smiled warmly, taking a seat across from him. "I'm here, Franklin, and I've been thinking about what we can do. I don't just want to give you a handout, I want to give you a second chance." Franklin blinked in confusion, the words not quite registering. Elon continued, "I have a plan. A job at Tesla, a new home, a fresh start. It's not just about surviving, Franklin. It's about rebuilding your life, your purpose." Franklin's eyes widened in disbelief. A job? At Tesla? A home? His voice cracked as he tried to process it all. It felt too good to be true. But beneath his shock, there was a growing spark of hope. Could this really be happening? Would he actually get another chance at life? It was a lot to take in, but for the first time in a long while, Franklin allowed himself to believe that maybe, just maybe, things could change. Elon's plan didn't stop at offering Franklin a job. He wanted to make sure that Franklin had a purpose, something meaningful to hold on to. That afternoon, he introduced Franklin to Tesla Motors, where he was welcomed by Elon's team. But this wasn't just any job. Elon guided Franklin to a special project within the company, one that aligned with Franklin's past experience as a sheriff, offering him the opportunity to contribute to a mission that would make a real difference. Franklin's eyes lit up as he was introduced to the team and shown the work that lay ahead. For the first time in years, he felt valued, like he was part of something important again. Next, Elon took Franklin to his new home, a modest yet comfortable house in a quiet, welcoming neighborhood. It wasn't luxurious, but it was a place where Franklin could finally rest and rebuild. The small yard, the cozy rooms, and the fresh start it symbolized were more than just a roof over his head. They were a chance to live with dignity again. As they walked through the front door, Franklin's voice caught in his throat, and he couldn't quite believe it was real. Then came the final part of the transformation. Elon led Franklin to a sleek, brand-new Tesla Model X, parked outside the house. Franklin's hands shook as he took the keys, the weight of the moment not lost on him. This car wasn't just a gift. It was a symbol of his new life. It represented the journey from hopelessness to possibility, from being forgotten to being seen. Franklin looked up at Elon, his eyes filled with gratitude and awe. He had gone from living on the streets to standing on the threshold of a new beginning, all thanks to the unexpected kindness of one man. As Franklin stood in front of his new home, holding the keys to his shiny new Tesla Model X, he couldn't quite believe it was real. The house, the car, the job, everything felt like a dream, a far cry from the life he had known just 24 hours ago. He looked at the house, then at the car, and for a moment, it all sank in. This was his second chance, a chance he never thought he'd get. As he turned to Elon, his voice trembled with emotion. "I don't know what to say, Mr. Musk. You've changed my life. I never thought someone like me could have a future. But you gave me hope. You showed me that even someone like me, someone who's been forgotten, can still have a shot at a better life." Elon nodded, a quiet smile on his face, but his thoughts were deeper than his words. As he watched Franklin take in the new chapter of his life, he realized how much this encounter had impacted him. It was a reminder that true success isn't just about money or fame. It's about the ability to make a difference in someone's life. Elon had the power to change lives, and in this moment, he saw that the real measure of success was in the lives he touched, the hope he restored, and the legacy of kindness he could leave behind. As Franklin's future began to shine brighter, so did Elon's understanding of what truly mattered. In just one unexpected encounter, Elon Musk's simple act of kindness transformed Franklin's life. What began as a brief conversation on a chilly morning in downtown Denver turned into a life-changing opportunity for a homeless man who had lost all hope. With a job at Tesla, a new home, and a brand new Tesla Model X, Franklin went from being a forgotten soul on the streets to a man with a second chance at life. This story shows that even the smallest gestures can have the biggest impact, and that it's not just about financial success. It's about making a real difference in people's lives. Now, I want to challenge you. What small gesture can you make today to help someone in need? You don't have to be a billionaire to change someone's life. A kind word, a listening ear, or offering a helping hand can go a long way. Thank you for watching this inspiring story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming tales of kindness and transformation. Let's continue to make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time.